8 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, turn it to vent, and hit it to manual pressure for about 5 minutes. There's not many shells in here, so we're going to see how it goes. This is the first test. We're doing pasta in the Instant Pot Viva 8 quart. On, and it's going to have to come up to pressure, and I found it takes about 10 minutes to get up to pressure. On some things, there should be enough liquid in there. Hopefully it'll come up faster, but the water is just kind of warm from the tap. And then once this kicks up to pressure, the valve's going to go up, and it's going to take about 5 minutes. And then we'll probably just do a natural release for 5 minutes, and then just quick release after that. Okay, we've let it naturally release for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to do a manual release, and I've got this nice little silicone glove. It's a part of the Game of Thrones gift package I got for Christmas, and it works great for doing this because when the steam comes out, I don't have to worry about it. I got this on. It works out great. We'll just let that release a little bit until the red valve goes down, and that's safe to take the lid off in. Since we had enough, looks like too much extra ricotta cheese, what I decided to do is make a homemade calzone with a leftover ricotta. And basically I'm using some of the same mixture, the ricotta cheese and the mozzarella that I'm going to use to stuff the shells. And what I plan on doing then is taking some of that, and I'll probably mix an egg in with the leftover ricotta and mozzarella that I'm not going to use for the shells. So I'm making a mini calzone right now. So basically I've got my yeast, my salt, and the information will be below as far as how much I use, but basically about 2 teaspoons of yeast, a half teaspoon of salt, and about a teaspoon of sugar, and I've got 2 cups of flour. And then I'm going to let the yeast sit a little bit and ferment. It'll start bubbling here shortly. And I did use about 1 cup of warm water. I may have to add some more warm water, depending upon what kind of mixture the flour looks like after I add this liquid to it. And we'll give it a few minutes here. Alright, so the yeast is starting to bubble a little bit and get a little foamy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to mix it in with the flour. And like I said, we may have to add some more warm water. Just see what the consistency is. We may have to add some more flour. And this is just regular all-purpose flour. So I'm just going to mix this around a little bit with a spoon, and eventually I'm going to get my hands in there, and I'm going to form a dough ball. We'll roll it out, knead it, I should say, on the floured surface. But looks like we may have to add a little bit more water because it's not quite, still a little bit, kind of a little bit rough on the dough. We may add just a little bit more warm water, and you want your water for the yeast and stuff just to work properly between about 90 degrees and 100 degrees, no more than 110, because it may kill off the yeast. And like I said, I'm just going to get my hands in here in a minute, and I'm just going to mix it around. Maybe add a little more water. Okay, so I've been kneading this for about a minute or so. Got it to the consistency about where I want it. I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and put a little bit of olive oil in there. Just kind of work that in a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is make sure the bowl's coated enough with olive oil. And then I'm going to just cover it with a towel or plastic wrap, whatever you want to put on there. And we're going to let that sit for about 20 minutes, half hour. It's a small dough ball, so it's not going to be that long probably to rise. I want it to rise a little bit. And it also sounds like the pressure up on the Instant Pot, so the time should be starting to count down here shortly. And we'll let this sit and we'll roll it out then. Okay, I rolled out the dough, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the ricotta cheese combination that I had left over from the shells. And also too, I would like to add that I did add in a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese into the mixture here, and I'm going to put a little bit more mozzarella cheese in here just to get a little more texture. I like cheese, and you can put pepperoni or spinach or whatever you wanted to on this as well. And I'm just going to bring this over, fold it over, and then I'm going to crimp the ends to make sure it seals. And I did put a little bit of olive oil on the baking pan already. Okay, and we're ready to go. We'll put it in the oven when it's ready to go. I may just brush it with a little bit of olive oil on the top. It still has some olive oil from the bowl whenever we coated it so it didn't stick to the bowl. I'll just put it on, it'll brown a little bit better. And our calzone is ready to go in the oven. Okay, I'm just using jar sauce that we have on hand. We had used some for spaghetti the other night, so we've got some leftovers. That's why I'm trying to clear out a lot of leftovers today. And what I'm going to do is I've got the shells in there. And actually, for the cooking time for the shells, like I said, this is the first time I've tried pasta in the Instant Pot Viva. Probably only do pressure for 2 minutes, and then let it naturally release for 5 to 7 minutes, and then just manually release it. So I've got the shells stuffed with the ricotta, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour some sauce over it. Depends upon how much sauce you like, how much you want to put on there. I like it so it's nice and moist, So I'm just going to cook off here in the oven and dry a little bit. And we're going to preheat the oven at 400. I'm going to put both the shells in, and I'm going to make the calzone in it, so we'll put those both in together at 400. These probably only need about 20 minutes or so. Just kind of estimate, look at them, see how the cheese looks on them, and the calzone too, if it's getting too brown on the top. Okay, this is a finished product. I had it on 400 degrees, turned on convection bake, since we had both the calzone and the shells in there, and about 18 to 20 minutes. And it was starting to bubble, so and it got brown on the crust here. It looks like the cheese is coming out of the calzone a little bit. Thanks very much. This is my first video, like I said. I plan to do more, especially when it gets warmer. I plan to do some ribs and some pork shoulder, smoke them on the Pit Boss pellet grill that I have. So hope you keep tuned. Thanks.